Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. Today I'm going to be reviewing a set of makeup brushes that I had bought off of Amazon. Okay, so here are the brushes. They are white and gold, and I thought that they were really pretty. They match my setup really well because my setup, I'm trying to make it white and gold with like some different pinks and oranges, and I just thought that these would go really well. They're by the brand Qivange. I don't really know how to say it. It's Qivange, and I'd never heard of them. I just saw them pop up on Amazon and like the suggestions, and I really liked the colors and I thought I'd give it a try. I believe I got them for $10 and some change, but I believe they're normally still less than $15. So I really wanted to get them and test them out for you guys and see if it's worth the money. Here are the brushes all laid out. It looks like you get a couple powder brushes or contour brushes, bronzer brushes, foundation brush, another contour, one of the flat foundation brushes, looks like a blush brush, couple blending brushes for the eyes, flat eyeshadow brushes. These look like they might work to be a pencil brush, and then these look good to like smudge eyeliner, and then you get a spoolie. Okay, so the first brush that I'm going to use is the foundation brush. It has pretty dense bristles. It's not extremely dense, but it's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. So they're about an inch long and they're pretty well packed, so I'm interested in seeing how this applies my foundation. I'm going to be going in with the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow Foundation. I got this just a couple weeks ago and I have been loving it. So dot that all over my face. And my hands are clean. I've already washed, moisturized, and primed my face. I'm kind of sad that these are about to be like destroyed with makeup because they're so pretty and white, but we'll see. They feel really soft. Which they did like when I first took them out of the bag. They like came in this really pretty cream colored bag that had like the brand name on it, and I took them out already and like had felt them when I got them in, but I didn't know they actually felt almost, this might sound crazy, but they almost felt too soft. Like they would kind of just mush around on your face and not really do anything. So I'm actually surprised that they're soft, but still not too soft to where they still distribute the product well. It looks okay so far. I don't see any streaking, which is nice. I don't know if I just didn't put on enough of the foundation. Like I said, I've only had it for a couple weeks, so I'm still like working with how much to put on my face, but it isn't as much coverage as I would like, which again, these are new brushes, and so a lot of product will be like, you can see a lot of it has already soaked in. So I'm gonna go ahead and put another thin layer on my face and see if that helps or if it's still just gonna soak up into the brush. Okay, so that looks a lot better. So like I said, I don't know if I just didn't put enough foundation on the first time or if the brush had just soaked a lot of it up since it is a brand new brush. It's not streaking. It looks like it distributed the product evenly, and it actually makes my face look a little bit more smooth than normal, which is odd. Maybe I'm just having a good face day. Maybe it's the brush, but it looks really nice. So far I'm liking the brush that I put the foundation on with. Okay, so next I'm going to be testing out the eye brushes, and I was going to use a palette that I just got in, but I wanted to make sure that I was giving the brushes a fair chance, and so I didn't know if something went wrong or if it was patchy or something like that, if it were the shadows or the brushes. So I went ahead and decided that I was going to do a palette that I've used time and time again, and I also am going to do some more bold colors because I want to see how the brushes blend them out. So I'm going to be using the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. And I'm going to start out by using one of the blending brushes so I can blend a transition color in the crease. Wow guys, these are actually doing a really good job. These blending brushes honestly look a little funky, and they're kind of dense too. Normally I use the Morphe blending brushes. These are more dense and they're like more straight, like they don't like fluff out, which they say that once you wash your brushes and things, then they take a little bit of a different shape, so maybe they will fluff out a little bit. But I was like not sure about these because they did look odd to me, but so far I'm really liking how this has blended this first shadow out. So the first color I went in with was not out of the Modern Renaissance palette. It was one of her individual eyeshadows, and it is in the shade Stone. It's just a really light brown. I find that because I'm so pale, a lot of the brown transition shades already look too harsh, or they're a little bit too warm, like the golden ochre color in here. It plays off a little bit more mustardy on me, and so I went ahead and used the Stone color that's out of palette for my first transition shade. And then the next color that I went into in the crease is the Burnt Orange color, and I just put that a little bit lower in my crease, and these are blending out beautifully. I mean, the Anastasia shadows already do, but these brushes blend it out in freaking no time. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and use one of these other weird looking brushes, and I'm going to use it to take one of these deeper colors and just put it on my outer corner. And I'm going in with the Cypress Umber color. This brush did create a lot of fallout in the shadow. It is very stiff, so if you guys do end up getting this set, watch that. Then I'm going to go in with the other blending brush. There were two that were pretty much the same, if not the same, and I'm just going to blend that out a little bit more because, like I said, that other brush was really stiff, and so it was not blending anything out. But it seems like it would be really, really good to deposit color onto the bottom lash line. Alright, so now that that is blended out, I'm going to use their flat shadow brush. I'm going to use this to apply color to the lid, and I'm going to be going in with this Venetian red color. Right, and then I'm going to blend that out. And then I'm going to take a little bit more of that burnt orange color, and I'm going to go back into the crease with it. And then I'm going to go back in once more with that Stone shade that's our individual shadow, and I'm just going to buff out that burnt orange. Okay, so I zoomed you guys in just a little bit closer so that you guys can see how well these blended out. Okay, so next I'm going to be applying my bronzer, and I'm going to be going in with the second biggest powder brush. Right, and then put some up by my temples. that did a really good job. So it blended it out pretty well so that it didn't have such a harsh line. I don't really contour that much just because that harsh line kind of bothers me, but I'm still playing around with it. I know that I'm probably doing something wrong, but for now I just bronze, and I think that this did a really good job. Okay guys, so I forgot to do my concealer, and I don't know if I am going to try to blend the concealer out with this flat foundation brush, or if I'm going to go in with this brush that looks like you could contour with. But I have the Tarte Unicorn brushes, and it has one that looks like this, and I'll use that one to kind of blend out my concealer. So I think I might try one on one eye and the other one on the other eye. I will be going in with the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and I am in the shade Fair. Alright, so I'm going to be using this brush on this half of my face. That did a pretty good job, you guys. It doesn't have any harsh lines, so I would say that it blended out pretty well, and it kind of feels just like that brush from the Unicorn brushes. Alright, so here's the Tarte one, and it is also like skinnier and wide at this angle, which is kind of the same as this. The only thing I'll say about this one is I feel like it is a little skinnier, but again, I don't know if that'll fluff out a little bit once I wash it, but you can definitely see that this one is a little more fluffy. Alright, so now I'm going to blend this half of my face with the flat foundation brush. Okay, so this brush blended it out nicely also, and it looks really smooth. The only thing that I have to say is that on this side, my pores, you can see them a lot more clearly than on this side. So if I were to choose one, I would probably choose the other one just because it did seem to conceal my pores a little bit better versus this brush. I don't know if that's because it was a lot better for like packing the concealer, so it kind of filled those pores versus this. But they both gave pretty nice finishes. I would just choose the other one over this one. So there's not really a brush in this set to set your under eye concealer, so I'm just going to go ahead and go in with my e.l.f. small tapered brush, and this is what I use to set my under eyes, and I'm just going to be using the RCMA No Color Powder. So now I'm going to finish my under eyes and just apply some shadow at my lower lash line. I'm just going to be taking just a little bit of that Venetian red at first. And I'm going just about 2/3 of the way in with it. Wow, this picks up a lot of pigment. And then I'm going to go in with that Cypress Umber, and I'm just going to be putting it on the very outer corner. Okay, so now I'm going to take this angled brush and I'm going to use it for my blush brush. I'm going to go into my Morphe 9in palette. Alright, that picks up way too much product. Look at that, guys. There's a lot. Definitely use a light hand when applying your blush because that picked up a lot. Let's see if we can blend some of this out. So I'm going to take the super big floofy brush and I'm going to see if I can blend some of that out. Just a little bit. Blend some of that out. Just a little bit. That's a little better. That side's a lot better, but now we know. Okay, so there's not really a highlight brush in this set either, but there's like this really flat, kind of wide brush, and normally I use the Morphe R31, and so it is quite a bit smaller, but it's the only thing that's even somewhat comparable. Right, I'm going to use the new Maybelline Master Chrome highlight, and we'll see how this brush applies it. This is hard to get open. I don't think I like this brush for highlighting, you know, because it's so tiny that at first it does make it look like just a stripe across your face. You really need to like blend it out. So I definitely like my Morphe one a lot better. So you can see like a really pretty glow right here. The sunlight's not catching it on this side, so my window's over there. Because we've already used all the brushes that we can, I'm going to go ahead and apply the rest of my like mascara and eyeliner and stuff off camera. Okay, you guys, so this is the final look. For the rest of the makeup that I used, for the eyeliner, I used the Tarte Precision Wear Liner. And then for the mascara on the top, I used the Bobbi Brown Eye Opening Mascara that I had gotten in my Sephora Play Box. And then on my bottom lashes, I used the Tarte Light Camera Lashes. And then for my lips, I used the Kat Von D liquid lipstick in the shade Lolita 2. Alright guys, so that is it. My final thoughts on these brushes is they are definitely worth the money. This brush that I applied my foundation with is by far my favorite. It applied my foundation beautifully, better than some of the other brushes that I own, and so I really liked this, and so this is worth $10 by itself. The two powder brushes were also great. I used the one to apply my bronzer, and then the other one I had used to sort of blend out that blush that I had put too much of on. The brush that I had used to blend out my concealer worked really well, so I will definitely keep using this because it does remind me a lot of the brush in the Tarte Unicorn set. And then these two blending brushes for the crease, I will definitely keep using. They buffed out my eyeshadow very quickly, smoothly, didn't have any skipping, didn't make it look patchy or anything, and these worked better than a couple of the Morphe brushes that I own, and so I really liked these, so I will definitely recommend these as well. The only brushes that I just did not like is this flat brush, the flat skinny brush. I could care less about this brush. I will honestly probably just throw it away after this because I don't ever see myself using this again. And then this flat brush that I had used to apply my highlight is kind of good for nothing. Also, I mean, if you can find a use for it, great, but I personally don't like it for anything, so I'll probably throw this away too. And I'm not really sure about this brush. I am obviously going to use it before I decide to toss it. It could be a really good pencil brush. It is also kind of stiff though, so I'm not sure if I'll like it, but I will definitely give it a try. And then brushes that I found were alright were the flat foundation looking brush that I had used to apply this side of my concealer. It did a good job. The only reason why I like the other one more, again, is because it concealed my pores a little bit better, but hey, this one could work for you. And then this flat brush that I used to pack on my eyeshadow, it worked okay. There are a couple that I own that I like a lot better, but this one is so I'll probably pick it up and use it from time to time, but it's definitely not my favorite. And then this brush that I had used to apply the shadow to my bottom lash line, I mean, it was okay. It wasn't the best. Again, there's ones that I like a little bit better, but the one thing that I do like about this is it packs a lot of pigment on. So if I know that I want to go for a bold look, then maybe I'll use this because I don't have to like keep going over it and building it, probably just once, and it'll be exactly what I need. And then the other two brushes that I just don't know is the angled brush that could be for eyeliner or applying eyebrow pomade, and then the spoolie. But most brow products that I use already have a spoolie, but it might be good for the days that I do want to use a pomade. Instead of getting, you know, my other brow products out and then using that spoolie, I can just get this out and use this. Alright guys, so that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you have any questions or concerns. And let me know if you guys have used this brand of brushes before and how they worked for you. I personally liked them. I liked the majority of them, and that right there is worth the $10 that I spent. And so if you guys would like to get your hands on them, I will leave the link down in the description box below. And I hope you guys have a good rest of the day. Bye!